What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Manin's Minute. So today I wanted to talk about something that I noticed actually last evening, and I thought I'd bring it up because it was magical to me. So there's something about dusk and dawn that just feels different. And I think most of us know it even if we have never sat down and tried to explain it. Those 2 times a day carry a kind of hush to them. They feel softer, deeper, and a little more mysterious than the rest of the day. In my opinion, if there are times that feel the most magical, it is dusk and dawn without a doubt. Not because they're flashy, not because lightning is crackling across the sky or because something dramatic is happening right in front of us. Quite the opposite, actually. They're magical because they sit right in the middle of things. They're moments of balance, moments of crossing, like moments where one thing is becoming another right before your eyes. And to me, that's where a lot of real magic lives. Think about dawn for a second. The world has not fully woken up yet. Night is still hanging on, but day's pushing through. The moon may still be visible while the sun starts rising. And right there is powerful to me. You have the feeling of night and the promise of day touching for a brief moment. It's like watching 2 worlds shake hands. The darkness is not totally left and the light has not fully taken over. They meet in this middle place, and for a short while everything feels suspended. It's not fully one thing and not fully the other. It's both, and that is exactly what makes it so special. Dusk has the same kind of power, just moving in the other direction. The sun's going down, the day's folding in on itself, and night begins to stretch out across the sky. You may still see some leftover gold or orange burning at the edge of the world, while the moon and stars start their preparation and taking over. Again, it is a meeting point. It's a time when one realm brushes against another. Day and night are not enemies in that moment. They're dancing together. They're trading places. They're balancing each other out before one steps aside and the other takes the lead. That idea of balance is a huge reason why I see these times as so magical. Balance has always mattered in spiritual work, and honestly in life in general. Too much of anything usually throws us off. Too much light, too much dark, too much noise, too much action, too much emotion, too much thinking. Human beings are constantly trying to find some kind of center whether we realize it or not. That is part of why dusk and dawn hit so hard on a spiritual level. They naturally show us balance without needing to preach about it. They don't lecture us, they simply happen, and if we are paying attention, they teach. At dawn, you're standing between rest and movement. The world is shifting from dream into doing. At dusk, you're standing between movement and rest. The world is shifting from labor into stillness. Both moments carry that same middle current. They're thresholds, and there's something deeply magical about thresholds. In between spaces have always had power. Doorways, gates, crossroads, shorelines, the edge of a forest, the place where land meets sea, the place where one road becomes another. These are all spaces that people across different cultures have looked at with a kind of awe. Why? Because they're not fixed in one camp. They belong to more than one thing at once. They're liminal. They're crossing points. They're spaces where change is happening. Dusk and dawn are the same way, except instead of a physical location, they're times. They are time thresholds. They are the doorway between one state and another. And that matters in magic because magic itself is often about movement. It's about change. It's about shifting energy, shifting awareness, and shifting circumstances, and also shifting ourselves. So it makes sense to me that sometimes, not always, the best times for spiritual reflection, ritual, prayer, and spell work and meditation, or simply just listening would be the times when the world itself is shifting too. Nature's already in motion then. The current's already flowing. You're stepping into a stream that's already moving rather than trying to stir still water with a stick. That's why I think dawn is beautiful for works of beginning. New goals, fresh starts and blessings, and clarity and hope and maybe a new attitude, a new chapter. Not in some cheesy motivational poster way either. I mean for real. Dawn feels like possibility. Even on hard days, dawn carries the message that the page is turning. You made it through the night. Something is opening, something is rising. There's a breath in that, there's a promise in that, and there's a feeling that says maybe today I do things a little differently. Dusk, on the other hand, feels perfect for release, letting go, reflection, protection, honoring the dead, speaking with spirit, closing out energy that no longer needs to stick to you. The day has its say and now it's stepping back. The noise starts to back off and shadows grow larger. The world becomes quieter, and in that quiet, things buried under the rush of the day can start coming forward. Dusk is honest that way. It doesn't force you to be on anymore. It invites you inward now. I also think there's something deeply human about being drawn to these two times. Midday is bright and obvious. Midnight is deep and hidden. But dawn and dusk are more emotional somehow. They feel like the world is speaking in a softer voice, and sometimes a softer voice gets our attention in a way that shouting never could. When the sky is changing color, when the wind feels different, when birds are just beginning or just settling down, you cannot help but feel that something's happening, beyond just the clock moving forward. Even if you're not calling it magic, you feel it. You feel the shift, and maybe that's part of the lesson too. Magic is not always about huge signs and giant displays. Sometimes it's about noticing. Sometimes it's about being awake enough to catch the subtle moment where the world changes clothes. Dawn and dusk reward the people who slow down long enough to see them. They're not trying to impress you. They're offering you a chance to step into mystery in a very simple, natural way. I think that's another reason I love them. They do not require anything fancy. They don't need expensive tools. They don't need a perfect altar. You don't need some long, dramatic ritual script written in old-timey language. You can step outside with a cup of coffee at dawn or stand quietly on your porch at dusk and feel the current moving. You can whisper a prayer. You can breathe deeply. You can watch the sky. You can speak to the gods, your spirits, your ancestors, or just your own soul if that's where you're at. These moments are available to almost everybody, and that makes them feel even more sacred to me. There's also something very witchy, very occult, very spiritually rich about places and times that cannot be pinned down too neatly. Dawn and dusk are not easy boxes. They're not fully this or that. They blur the line, and I've always felt the truth itself often lives in places like that. Not in rigid extremes all the time, but in the gray spaces where things overlap. A lot of spiritual maturity comes from learning to sit in those middle spaces without panicking, without needing every single thing nailed down in black and white. Dusk and dawn remind us that the world is built on cycles, blending, and movement. Not everything is a hard wall. Some things are a veil. So in my opinion, dusk and dawn are some of the most magical times because they are times of balance and because they're times of in-between. They show the meeting of light and dark, sun and moon, ending and beginning, rest and action. They're living thresholds, and thresholds that have always held power. These moments remind us that change is holy, balance is real, and the middle space is not empty. It's full of presence, full of energy, full of the kind of quiet wonder that does not need to scream to be felt. If you really want to touch something magical, you don't always go looking for the loudest moment. Sometimes the deepest power shows up when the world is half asleep, half awake, half glowing, or half fading. Sometimes it shows up when the sun meets the moon, even if only in passing. Sometimes it shows up in those few tender moments when the world is leaving and another's arriving. To me, that is where the veil feels thin in the most beautiful way. That's where the current feels alive, and that's why every single time dusk and dawn will always feel like the most magical hours of all.